everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Thank you so much to all of you who've been tuning in recently. My name is Chris. I'm a singer-songwriter and musician based in London. And I've been doing this show to share my music and talk to cool people, make some new friends. And tonight's going to be something a bit out of the ordinary for you. We've got a very cool guest. And just before we get there, I just want to say, if you are enjoying the show and liking the music that I've been releasing, please consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Chris Willow. And I look forward to chatting with you on the chat at the end of the show. And so today is something quite special. We've got a guest who I met through some very strange coincidences. So her name is Karol Cristina Da Silva. She's an actress, a puppeteer, a theater maker, and all sorts of things. And she's going to talk to us today about herself. And we can also talk about how we met and uncover a secret musical project that I worked on a long time ago, and that's how we met. So here we go. Are you here, Karol?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being patient with my technical difficulties.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Anytime. So can you tell us a bit about yourself? What do you do? Where are you from?
Yes, originally from Brazil, but I've been living in London for over 20 years. I did theater making, puppetry, voiceover artist. So I've been working different disciplines and yes.
Yeah. And when we first met, my mind was blown because and it's kind of felt like a dream. It was kind of a weird situation because so for those of you who don't know, I love, and since I was a young boy, especially when I was a young boy, I really loved Star Wars. And unrelated to that, I was living with somebody who was part of the programming team for one of the stages at a music festival called Stand and Calling, and I was trying to get on the festival. Oh, you don't know this either. It's like I'm talking to the audience.
No.
You don't know this. And I don't know, it was a weird time for me. I was a bit lost artistically and just feeling a bit down, and I just really wanted to play a show, and he had to find a way of getting me onto the bill to play, but he had to sell it because it was a stage about different. It had to be like more arty, or it had to have a novelty to it. So I didn't just go and play. I couldn't just go there and play my music. He wanted a theme or something, and so out of that was born this idea that I'd do a virtual band, or like a fake band, fictitious band within the Star Wars universe. So my goal was like, you know, in the original movie where there's that band playing in the cantina.
Yeah.
My goal was like, imagine I could make a band like that, and they sing songs that's within the universe. And then it was like, it's a bit of a weird idea, but then I'd written it, like, once you write a few songs, you might as well write a few more. And before I knew it, I had a whole album. And then we went and I got some friends together, went and played this gig, and that was it. I never did.
But how long did it take for you to write the songs?
I don't know. I was doing it for about 3 months or so, but alongside other stuff. It was just something to do, you know, as a creative person. It's even if it's not like what the songs weren't about, what I was feeling, whatever. It's fun, silly stuff. But I take any opportunity, especially if I'm feeling uninspired in other ways, to just do a creative project, you know. And it gave me something fun to do. But as I say, like once I was in it, the only way was to finish it. The only way out, you know. So for those of you who don't know, Star Wars is quite a deep universe, and there's these I'm just trying to find here in my book here. I've got reference books with notes in them for this show. In the original Star Wars, there's this band that play.
Ah.
So it was kind of that was the idea. It's a bit like, do you know the Gorillas, the band Gorillas?
Yeah.
Bit like that, where they don't actually exist. But so I don't know. So that's how we met. I played the show, and then you came up to me.
Yes, because I was there doing puppetry with Company of Ravens, and I was starting listening to the songs and the outfits, and I was like, oh my God. So then I came to you and I said, I was in Star Wars. And you were like, really?
I don't even know if I believed you. I don't even know. It's kind of like there's like 20 people watching. It's like no one here. What are the chances that one of these people at this one-off thing was actually in Star Wars?
And yes, I don't know if you believed. You were a bit like, oh, really? Okay. And you had CDs there for sale as well. And I didn't have any cash on me. I think they were like £10. So I said, you know what? Because you said you liked Star Wars. And I said, do you want to do a swap? Because I really enjoy the music. Can I keep a CD and I'll send you, because I also said I had an action figure. You're like, you have an action figure? And I said, yes. Shall we swap? And I send you an action figure. And you're like, but you were in doubt. You were like, oh, I'm losing the CD, but okay, fine. Take the CD.
It's fine.
If you really like it. And here is the CD.
Yes. And then a few days later, this arrived on my doorstep. And this is you.
Yes.
This is an action figure of yourself. And not many people can say they have an action figure of themselves.
No.
That's pretty cool. So just what if people are wondering that the band name Treble Scum was like a play on words, because in one of the movies the one of the Imperial guys calls the rebels, "You rebel scum." So I was like, okay, well that'll be the band name for the fake band. And that artwork was done for me by a guy called Chris West, who he does trading cards for Star Wars, and he just did it for free for me. It was one of those things which just, he thought it was a crazy idea and thought it was fun, so he made that for me. But I've hung on to this all these years, and I still can't really believe it. It's such a weird turn of events. So thank you.
It's incredible how now we all kept those things, and we all
I know. Every time I moved house, I was like getting rid of stuff. I'm like, I have to keep this. So I found this, which is you.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Is that you? It is you,
yeah.
I think. And it says here, so you were you were in the movie The Phantom Menace. For all of those who have seen that movie, it's the one where Natalie Portman is the Queen Amidala, and you're one of her handmaidens. Is it Rabé?
Yeah, Rabé.
And it says, in spite of her young age, Rabé has learned to exercise great patience in her role as handmaiden to the Queen. She soothes Amidala's nerves and helps to prepare her exotic hairstyles, which can require several hours to perfect. So that's what your character does.
Yes.
But so I thought that I could play a song from that album, which I never thought I'd do anything with ever again. But I've been thinking it could be really cool to kind of try and get in touch with Disney and And I don't know how to though, but I thought it could be a fun like Guitar Hero type game, but in a cantina band is what I want to call it, and then the kids can play along with the songs. But anyway, should we have a listen to?
Let's have a listen.
This is called Obi-Wan, and it's so weird that I'm showing how much of a Star Wars nerd I am. So it's this guy. And he's everything has gone wrong. Anakin is meant to be this chosen one, and he's become evil. So Obi-Wan's living in the desert, fighting off Tusken Raiders and stuff. And this song was as I was imagining what his life must have been like in the desert all by himself. So here we go.
Obi-Wan, you lost it all to the chosen one. Now in exile under Tatooine suns, how you keep it all together, I don't know. Obi-Wan, you will rise again to lead his only son. Will a balance when at last the work is done? You will give your life in love for a new hope. Obi-Wan was my name, but now I'm banned. It's a different age. The Jedi gone, the Order's page erased from history. Brave was slain, but I remain and must maintain the mission of the light to save the galaxy once again from the hands of evil men who seek to crush the good in me, the good in you. There was good in he was my friend, a tragedy. Now just a walking factory of hurt and death and misery. Our ally turned to enemy, tempted into Palpatine's sick web of insecurity. Obi-Wan, you lost it all to the chosen one. Now in exile under Tatooine suns, how you keep it all together, I don't know. Obi-Wan, you will rise again to lead his only son. Will a balance when at last the work is done? You will give your life in love for a new hope. Tusken Raiders, bad behaviors, moisture farmers needing saviors. Hot desert suns are such a danger to the sanity of any lonely ranger trying to keep out of sight. I move in shadows through the night to keep an eye on the new life, while the other scans for evil spies. The Empire will try to find any who might have survived. The Order meant to kill us all, but good won't rest till evil falls. The young will find the force it calls to those who listen, big or small. It will ignite the might in hearts to fight.
You have to try to send this music to Ian McGregor.
Oh yeah, for the Obi-Wan series.
He will love it. I'm sure he will love this music.
It's so silly. It's so epic though. But it was such a weird time recording that. You know, just imagine it's like your housemate walks in or whatever, and you're in your pajamas recording Star Wars songs, playing the guitar solo. But, this is a creative life. You do some crazy things sometimes.
Exactly. It's incredible. And when there was a time when Topps, they were making new cards for Star Wars. So they sent me like 500 cards for me to sign. And I have friends who, if they have to sign, they're like, oh my God, I don't know how I have to sign all these. But I put your CD on, and was so brilliant because would put me into character. And then I'm signing it and it's just flowing, and Star Wars, the Force. If there was no music and I was just like, oh, I have to sign this Star Wars, my character. But when I heard your CD many times. Yeah. Because Star Wars, I was like, okay.
I think you've listened to it more than I have.
Probably.
Yeah, because me, it was just like, I just got to finish it in time for that thing. Go, 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 go. And then I played it and then I forgot about it. But oh well. Yeah, well, I appreciate anybody who gets into anything you do is it's always appreciated. But and what are you, back to you, what are you working on, or even going back, how was your experience of working on that movie? And it's strange with Star Wars because, like, as you say, have to sign these cards. That was recent, and the movie was 1999 it came out, so it's like never exactly over.
Yeah. And so it's still like happening, like conventions. I went to one this year in Germany which was great. Yes, it was. I was quite young at the time, and Natalie Portman was even younger, was like 16, and Keira Knightley was the decoy. She was like 12 years old.
Wow.
So it was the sets were incredible. That was
in Italy, some of those.
Yeah. Palaces. So mostly was done in North London, in Watford, and then we went to Italy as well. Caserta is a little town, and then Padme went to Tunisia. So then was a small group went to the desert to continue the filming.
That's cool. Well, and you've got it's such a weird, great thing to be a part of a franchise, I imagine, because now I saw that these books have come out that have your character in them, and then the interest goes again. You get more interest.
Exactly. Like people came to me and said, oh, you should do this and that. The book came out. You must check it. And I was like, okay. And that is also strange because I start reading it, and as it's describing us, and I can see our faces, we're laughing and doing things. So that's strange.
Yeah. It's weird for me because so I grew up in the 90s and like Star Wars wasn't as big as it is now. Like the old movies had happened, and then 1999. So that's why your movie, The Phantom Menace, was like a huge thing for me because I was 10 or 11. So it was like I was the perfect age, basically. It's the perfect age for that movie to be huge. But then the 90s, it was like you had to work hard to find stuff, games to play or a book or whatever. But now it's just like, with Disney Plus, and there's so much content and so many new books. I can't keep up. Yeah. It's just like endless, which is cool.
That's true. Yeah, but, that is true. It's endless now. It's
back in my day. But and with your own projects, you've just started a podcast. Would you call it that, or a video show?
Yes, I don't know what to call it yet because it's such so new. But it's at the moment I'm doing live, and I'm doing interviewing people about the magic of human beings, especially like after lockdown and being surrounded by all bad news and everyone is stressed and in fear, and we all concentrating in this negative vibe, which it's happening and we don't know how to behave. It's been changing now, but there is also so much incredible goodness and strength in people. And in times like that as well, that shows up. So I was tired of seeing lots of like, oh, this is happening or that happened. I was like, how about also bringing something about the magic of human beings? So, yeah, so I started that on 24th of December.
And is it on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay, well, we can put a link in the description of this video, everybody who's watching. We'll put a link in the description of the video for your Instagram account and everything, so we can try,
Thank you.
more people watch it. And yeah, how often are you doing it?
So did one this 24th of December, one yesterday, and I'm gonna do one in February, but then I'm gonna try to start to do one a week.
That's great. Yeah, I'm doing this twice a month at the moment, but I would like to do it more.
Sounds like a good number.
Yeah,
twice a month.
But I'm really enjoying it. You know what? It's just people are amazing. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's like we're all looking for inspiring things, cool things to do, careers, work hard. But it's like when you just have a conversation with somebody, I'm finding it so rewarding. Everyone has such, powerful spirit if you get to know it. I think,
And so true. And another thing about those conversations is like you are looking to the other person you're talking. There aren't other distractions like phone, TV, or it's
amazing. I'm glad you're doing it. Thank you for doing that. And do you have who else are you going to have? Do you have future guests planned for your show?
Yes. So one of the guests is going to be someone that I worked for over 7 years, and he's been working 30 years with children and education. So he's always been empowering children to get out there and do what they do best, which is create. So he's a very inspiring person.
And
his name is Tony G, but I call him Tony Genius.
I'm sure he likes that. But I've got some photos here, everybody, of Karol's, would you say the puppeteering, the work?
Yeah.
So these pictures that you're seeing now, everybody, these are made by Karol for two projects. One is for carnivals that she's involved in, and the other is for something called Creation Myths, which we can talk about in a second. So Creation Myths, is that still happening?
Yes, it's Creation Myths, Puppets, which is the work that I do with Tony G.
Yeah.
And the way we started working together, because I had just came back from Mozambique. I was there working, doing puppetry in orphanages, and it started on the streets as well, because the street kids were coming up to me and saying, what do you have? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm making puppets. Do you want to make puppets? And they said, yes. Yeah. Where shall we make? And I said, well, you guys are here every day by the cars. We do here.
Yeah.
So it started like that. I brought some things that was enough for making puppets with 10 kids, materials, and we start making. And a friend who is a great photographer, he documented it and made a small documentary, a 10 minutes documentary about it.
Where can we see that? Could we see that?
I can send you a link.
Send me a link. I'll put the link. Everybody, the link will be here. See. Do you know that I'm from South Africa? I don't know if you know that.
No.
So yeah, I've never been to Mozambique, but I used to go in South Africa up to KwaZulu-Natal, which is on the same coastline. It's the east coast.
Mhm.
But I never crossed the border into Mozambique. But I'd like to go sometime, maybe.
Oh, beautiful.
They speak Portuguese, don't they, as well?
Yeah. And so for me, it works perfectly
very well.
because I'm from Brazil.
Yeah. And but I think that spirit of creativity is it's one of the most powerful things. I know, like in my own life, it basically always makes you feel better to create something. So I think giving that gift of creativity to children is basically the best gift, because it's like a mindset. You don't need it. It can't run out. You can, the more you do, the more you get. It's a renewable energy, creativity. I find the more I do, the more I want to do of anything creative. So it's an amazing thing to get kids into that.
And they were showing me and teaching me amazing things, because I'm bringing them things how to make it. They're like, oh, but let's make like this so we can move that. And I was, wow. I just brought the tools and they were already putting it together.
And are you planning on going back at all?
Not at the moment.
Obviously, we got bad timing as well, if you did want to, with all the travel problems. But and I've just written down as well here, because you mentioned earlier that you were thinking about doing a children's book.
Reading children's books.
Children, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Voice acting, like audiobooks.
Yeah. Because I do voiceover. It's one of the other jobs that I do. So I said, oh, maybe some of my favorite children's books. Like the friend that I interviewed yesterday, she's has amazing books. I met her from another friend who also children's illustrators. And
yeah, I struggled to read a lot when I was growing up, especially. Still now, but I've kind of I've worked on ways around it. It's the dyslexic mind, but it's so audio has been a huge part of what I like, which I think is also why I liked Star Wars, because it was so sound oriented as well. You could hear the environment as well as see it. You could hear the different spaceships and the different sounds, and when I was young, you can hear it. And then I listened to the audiobooks as well, and it's the same thing. It's the sound world that you can get lost in, and I think that's why things like this, and podcasting and audiobooks are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because it's a more accessible form. And some kids struggle to read. I struggle to read, but English is one of my biggest passions. So if it has to be written, then I can't get into that passion. But now I can, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I'm a big fan of audiobooks.
And can you also listen as you're doing something else? Like cooking?
Depends. Yeah, so I listen when I'm cooking, but I listen to this. I'm trying to get this person on the show. There's a podcast or a show called Boring Books for Bedtime. And it's a lady, and she talks like this. The next reading is taken from, and it's like so soothing and breathy. But the problem is, she tries to choose boring books. Like she had one like about the history of bread or something, like the whole history of bread, and it's meant to be boring. But so I put it on when I go to sleep, but then I can't sleep because I'm listening. I find it too interesting. So I do like to listen when I do other stuff, but I do end up concentrating more on that. But yeah, so when I'm cooking, audiobooks, podcasts. And I also think it's sad that this is true, but I think we spend so much time by ourselves. We feel lonely. I mean, that's speaking about myself as an adult. I don't know what it's like for kids. But especially during things like this lockdown, you don't have your friends at school, and stuff. So sometimes I find listening to an audiobook or something quite comforting. It's like there's somebody around, you know. But I think that's why it helps you sleep, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I look forward to it. You got a great voice for it as well. What voiceover stuff do you do?
So depends, many things. Like I do commercials, I do documentaries. So, but voiceover, it's been in the last 3 years, it's been changing a lot, and I think it's because of Netflix. Because normally I would always go to a studio and you have the technician and the client is there. And in the past 2 years, it's been changing. They're trying to get the technician to do the work beforehand and the voiceover artist to have the computer. So the voiceover artist gets in the booth with the computer and he or she use the controls because it's all written, and between these brackets you have to say in this time and you follow the words, and so they're paid for what they get done. So it's the game change. Yeah. So they can stay there the whole day. If they only get done that little, I'm sorry, it's not studio time. So it's a very interesting, I think it's been proving many things, but also I don't know how it's been for technicians. And I did only a few documentaries with a company that were working for Netflix, and they've been developing the software where the voiceover artists only need the software of the computer and could be done anywhere as long as they have a good soundproof.
Yeah, that's super interesting. It's similar in my world, in the music world. Everything is becoming streamlined. So like I don't even think of going to a music studio to record an album. It doesn't even cross my mind now. Everything is like you must do it at home. It's difficult because basically all the costs have been cut. So everything is there's more for the artist to do now. So like you become the technician, and it's been like that for a few years now with music, where you have to know about everything. You have to know about equipment and distribution and all. It's just the way it's going. But it's difficult because if you don't want to do that, then they'll just get somebody else who does. You know, we're all in that. It's been very similar in my world, and the same thing is even with performing. Like you used to have bigger bands, there'd be more people, but now they want less people to sound like more people, you know, at venues. So things that used to be special, like using a device to loop your guitar live, that used to be some people used to do it. Now it's expected, you know, that you need to give them more for the same amount of money, you know. Yeah. But I've kind of I've only grown up doing that. You know, I've never really made albums in studios. So I would probably feel scared, you know, going into a new space. Like I like being my own technician now, you know, maybe I get some help, but I like being able to decide that was a good take. Let me do the next one now. Let me do this one. But are you enjoying that or not at all? The change?
So yes, so I still have to work with that with soundproof and with. So I haven't embraced it yet.
Well, you can ask for my help. I will.
Oh, thank you.
But I can help, but I mean, I've had similar problems. It's so weird. Like here, as I said earlier, let's hope that there aren't the builders doing work, because some days it's so noisy. And I've had to record things like late at night and at weird times, but it's difficult. I think what will happen is that you can end up hiring just a nice room somewhere at some point, but you still do all the technical. You take your own stuff there, you know. That's what I'm thinking. Hire a soundproof room for a day. But
and one thing when I was in this. Convention in Dortmund, I gave an interview, and in the interview came that I was talking I don't know, we're talking about more movies coming out and about revolution. And I said, well, there is this, we're all talking about Star Wars. And then I said, there is this band that made all this music about Star Wars. And they have a music there talking about the revolution, which I think is fantastic for everything that's happening now.
Well, thank you for thinking of me there in Germany. But I mean, maybe if I ever want to play this music again with friends, maybe it should be at conventions.
Yes, that's another place, conventions. But I think it definitely should be together with the films as well.
Well, there's enough of them now to find to find some space. But I will let you go now. Thank you so much for
thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like us to check out? So we can check out your Magic of Human Beings on your Instagram with a link.
And I'll give you the link about the film by Roberto Rubalcava, the Mozambique. And another one that it's just came out, which is fantastic, is the work that I do with theater, which is with the community in old people's home. And so it's an intergeneration project because we bring the young and the old, everyone together, all ages. And we've been doing 3 years creating Carnival with them in Camden. But this year, because of lockdown, we couldn't do the same. So I was building all these structures for the Carnival at home and the ideas we were having and sending to them in a taxi with glue paper. And they were decorating it. And by June, when we were out of lockdown, we all got together and we went and did a parade in a lockdown carnival in Hampstead. So now there is a film about it. And our director, Julia Evangelista, she's amazing. And she's being resilient, fighting for making it all happen.
Amazing.
So I'm very happy with that. I'll send you the link too.
Please do, yeah. So there's going to be a lot of links, everybody. A lot of links to check out. But yes, I'm very glad I met you. What a strange turn of events.
I know.
But this is life. This is London as well. You know.
And can we hear one more song before we go?
Would you like another one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this one is in the original movie, Obi-Wan and those guys they're trying to fly somewhere and they get there and they see something and somebody goes, "That's a moon." And he goes, "That's no moon. It's a space station." And Han Solo can't believe him. And and the bad guy is this guy called Tarkin who blew up a planet with the Death Star. So I'm just throwing you some things so you'll know what the song is saying here. So here we go. We'll get another one for you. That's no moon. I love this. This is so silly. Okay.
That's no moon, it's a space station. Oh, we knew with no hesitation, and just couldn't believe all the wrong blown away. Lost the talking's devilish way. A million cries suddenly stopped, a million lights lost to the dark by a wicked mind, and the power fired in a shot from a super laser on the Death Star. We are the rebels fighting among the stars, Bespin to embryo. We are the damages, those hostile savages. They like to call us on the hollow news, but how can we not fight when a planet can be destroyed in a moment if they choose to do so? We are the new hope, we are the alliance fighting for the people against Palpatine's evil. The Sith that are running it all. How did we fall? So low as to end up here. So low as to end up here. The Sith that are running the show. We were so blind. We couldn't see in the shadows until darkness arrived. That's no moon, it's a space station. All we knew with no to demonstrate the full might of the battle station. Destroy a nation whose only occupation is peace. This transformation to Palpatine's puppet is complete. From that young Ariada boy who had the plateau victory many years ago, but today he has committed this obscene act of genocide. I, Obi-Wan, feel it in my heart and mind, but I gotta focus on Luke, not let the anger take control. He is the future of the light side, he is gonna save us all. The Sith are now running the show, the tyranny goes. Each day that we let it take hold, but young Luke is giving us hope, and darkness will run, 'cause he's shining like Tatooine, shining like Tatooine sun, Tatooine sun. And just couldn't believe all the wrong blown away. Lost the Tarkin's devilish way.
Where can people get that?
That I'll put a link, everybody. I'll put a link. I've been keeping this secret though. Like my friends, no one knew, and then like so it got out with one of my friends, James, in South Africa, and he's like, "Dude, this help." Been a complete secret, but it's because like I think I don't know if you know the other music I do, the main music I do, but it's been quite serious recently, and it's like this has made me want to do something silly. Having this chat, it's maybe I should reboot.
Whatever, as you were saying before, whatever is creative and it shakes you up is good.
We'll leave it there. Perfect ending to the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Karol. I'm going to end this call. I'll call you afterwards because otherwise it will come through on this show. But you are great. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Karol Cristina Da Silva, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.